Asa Yassin got his break playing a character in a soap opera. Now he's a major star of Egyptian cinema. I caught up with him in Cairo. I'm fascinated by your background because you started out in life, or older life as it were, as an engineer. Yeah. It's not the obvious route through to acting, is it?
No, it's not. But actually you can relate it to production because I studied mechanical engineering, which is majoring in production, industrial production, and I can relate this to definitely movie production and optimization and cost efficiency and all this.
But something must have clicked, and when was it that you decided, oh, I'm going to try this? I'm going to give it a
go. I think back in the days when I was in the university, and a friend of mine knew that I was really interested into acting and knowing about, like I sort of wrote some analysis about films. Definitely at the time was Pacino and De Niro, was The Godfather and Scarface and all. So he knew that, and he told me, why don't you just come and audition? And I really didn't want to audition or try myself out in something I didn't know whether I would be good at or not. So he told me that there's a role who's not there anymore, and there's a cast member just left, and you can just come and meet the director and take it from there. And since then, I was hooked.
Your last film, Rags and Tatters, you play a convict who has escaped prison during the 2011 revolution here in Egypt. Your character affected by the revolution, and yet in and of itself he isn't involved. It's irrelevant to him. Can you explain what was going on there?
Definitely not about the revolution. It's about the people. It has a very subliminal message of all the people who went to the revolution, who didn't go, of those who we speak of, that their conditions are like that, the poverty, the illiteracy, all of these things, and yet their conditions before the revolution and through the revolution and post-revolution still remain the same.
You're talking about marginalized Egyptians here, the statistics
marginalized Egyptians, which we use in our slogans, which we use in the protests, in the newspapers, in the media titles, the headlines, and yet nothing happened to them, and yet the speaking of them is just words. It wasn't really action. So when you really translate this into a dramatic film that could be documented or considered like a historical social documentation for this period of time, for these people that we actually thought of and taught and demonstrated for. So this is actually a reference.
And I've met, while I've been in Egypt, lots of people who are in the square with you protesting at the time. They are disillusioned, they are disappointed, they feel they were, some of them, naive. They're not optimistic about the future. Do you sympathize with those people?
Definitely, because I think, like I said earlier, that I have, since I was born, which is 33 years ago, that there is only one president, and all of a sudden in 4 years we have 4 presidents and 2 revolutions. That's quite interesting, and I'm sure this is something to think of, rather than just get stuck in the fact that whether this revolution worked or not, whether it was a revolution or not, whether what's going to happen later on. I believe in Naguib Mahfouz has a very good saying that I really believe in, which says that the present is a light that flickers between 2 darknesses. Well, you can't have the 2 darknesses, the future, you can't have it without the present. And you can't just look at the past because you'll just shy away from the present.